we welcome you to Clarence D. East Field on this beautiful Monday evening. We are bringing to you some boys lacrosse between York and Hinsdale Central tonight. The Dukes come into this one ranked 3rd in the state with a record of 10-1, 4-0 in the conference, and they are 1st in the West Suburban Conference. Meanwhile, the Red Devils, they're 36th in the state with a record of 4-5, 0-2 in conference. Their only losses coming to Glenbard West and Lyons Township. They're tied for 5th in the WSC. York, having a tremendous season. They already have 4 wins versus top 10 teams. They loaded the schedule this year, and they have performed in every single one, beating St. Viator most recently, Glenbard West, Bennett, and New Trier.
Yeah, talking about a team that is performing at the top of their game, coming off a dominant second half against St. Viator. At the time, they were ranked number 2 in the state when they played them. Their only loss against a top 10 team was against Lake Forest, which is arguably number 1 in the state. But if they are going to fulfill their goal of winning a state championship, they're going to have to beat teams like that down the stretch. But they've been very, very successful this year.
Opening face-off, just a few moments away. The Dukes with Connor Selfridge in net, who's had an outstanding year.
Another ground ball face-off. This was a big part of that St. Viator game. The Dukes are getting much better at their face-offs as they go throughout the year.
And that is picked up by the midfielder Jack Wagner, starting on this opening line. And the Dukes will settle it down. Love to have a little bit of slow tempo once they get into the offensive zone. Like to move the ball around, get everybody a touch. Now here's Brian Grant with it. Over to a sophomore, Blake Rieger, to his brother. Now Blake with it. Gives it off. Rieger with it at about the 30. Looking to put a move on. He does. Gets past one defender. Kicks it to his brother, Andon. Good interior defense by the Red Devils, and the Dukes will have to regather. Now Grant moves to his left. Kicks it to the star senior Ryder Maston. Maston bounces out to the outside. Gives it off to Rieger. Now here's Siegenthaler with it at the X position. Grant swinging it around. Rieger. Here's Maston. Back to Grant. Siegenthaler down low, but no daylight. Dukes with a long possession.
This is the type of basketball possession, comparing it to other sports, but this is the type of basketball possession you love to see, which is a ton of movement, a ton of back cuts, but unfortunate outcome there for the Dukes and really a good outcome for Hinsdale Central. That's a momentum starter right there after a long defensive possession where the Dukes had good position on them, but Hinsdale Central able to force a turnover.
Yeah, definitely a great start for this Red Devils defense. In net for the Red Devils is Matthew Kreischer, number 33, who is clearing it, but a turnover.
Sloppy play there. Had a chance to make the score 1-0, so they had a good offensive start there, but first pass not successful.
And the Dukes come right back down with it. Here is Andon Rieger, now kicks to his brother Blake. Maston swings it to Grant. Grant walled off. He gives it to Siegenthaler behind the net. Siegenthaler moving to his right. Trying to find back cuts, but just no daylight. Now here's Rieger.
This Hinsdale Central defense not allowing any easy goals here or easy opportunities or lanes. Very good job from a team that may not be considered as good as the Dukes, but whenever it's your rival like Hinsdale Central and the Dukes are, you always play much, much harder. You always see that in college football whenever a rival is not necessarily as good as a team as one another, but they always play as hard as they possibly can, and that leads to good games.
Well, here's a shot with a big save by Kreischer. That was the first shot on goal from the Dukes. And it was a pretty good one. Oh, and here's a turnover. Trouble clearing it. And Siegenthaler fighting for the ground ball. He's got it. Now Siegenthaler moving to the front of the net. Defender falls. Dukes trying to capitalize. Here's a shot. And another big save by Kreischer. Keeping the Devils in it thus far.
That's their first caught pass right there.
They will clear it. Finally get it over the 50. It's number 4, Tristan Moncrief, who gives it to his teammate. That's Jackson Kearney. The two of them playing a little bit of a two-man game. Now Hinsdale Central will slow it down. But this is no easy run for the Devils. The Dukes, with their defense seemingly better than their offense, only giving up 4.6 goals per game. A truly tremendous number.
Yeah, this defense is big and physical, and they like to lay the body on other teams. They always push teams out of the lane. They've been really good at that so far this year. And their length also helped them a lot as they block a lot of shooting and passing lanes, so the opposition offense can't swing it across atop the defense, as they just don't have the room.
Meanwhile, here's a long shot by Kearney, saved easily by Selfridge. And trouble clearing it. Kearney trying to save it, and he does. Retains possession. Good scoop by him.
The Dukes, not the start you've looked for, but they force a turnover there, not able to capitalize on the missed catch, but definitely had a good two long offensive possessions, and no points coming out of it is extremely disappointing for the Dukes offense. Or Dukes attack, if we're going to use lacrosse language.
Now here come the Red Devils. Switches back to his right. This is number 11, Mark Joy. The Devils dance with it at about the 15-yard line. Not a whole lot of movement thus far. Now here is Moncrief, who scores! A shot from afar by Tristan Moncrief. And it's 1-0 Red Devils. Not a good angle. But he still finds the back of the net. And Josh, just like you said, the rivalry in full effect here as it's the Red Devils who draw first blood. They lead it by 1 with 5:55 remaining in the first.
Definitely a great shot there, off balance, going to his right. His dominant hand that was the hand on the top of his stick there. Looked like the Dukes, now I don't know much about lacrosse, but it looks like the Dukes were in a man defense. It looks like they were in a man defense where they, were face guarding the guy instead of the typical zone defense that they like to run.
And the Devils win the face-off. They're going to try and have compound offensive opportunities. Here's a shot, and that's Kearney this time. Plowing through defenders. And it's 2-0, just like that. 2 goals in 20 seconds. And the two middies.
Goal number 7, Jackson Kearney.
Get the scoring going for the Devils. And halfway through the first quarter, the Dukes find themselves in a 2-0 hole. And I didn't even think that was bad defense there. I just felt that was better offense from Kearney. He had 3 guys on him and was still able to get off a shot. Truly impressive. And they win the faceoff once again, taking advantage of one of the weaker points of this Duke squad. Now a ground ball scrum at about the 50-yard line, and it's picked up. Big win by Andon Rieger. The Dukes look to move with it. Here's Jack Wagner now. Also plays football for the Dukes in the fall.
Yeah, the Dukes have been using a lot of different guys, and in Rieger there with the win, but they've been using, I want to say, 4 or 5 guys to do this face-off position, as they've not been able to find one that sticks and is consistently successful. But maybe towards the end of the season with all this practice, one of the guys will end up standing out for the playoffs.
Meanwhile, here's Tommy Kowalski shifting back to his left hand. Tried to run a little bit of a double screen for Kowalski, but picked up nicely by the Red Devils. 4.5 minutes remaining here in this first quarter. Dukes trail by 2. Here's Blake Rieger with it now. Kicks to his brother. And then moves to his left. Gets a shot. Oh, and a big save.
Picked up by the Dukes.
They do keep it. This is Tommy Kowalski with it, trying to hit a cutter. Oh, that was Ryder Maston. Couldn't get a clean look off. So he backpedals, kicks it out. Now here's Blake Rieger trying to isolate his man. The Devils bring help. Now Siegenthaler. He looks to go to work. Circles back out to about the 30. Working in. Tries to break down his man. Gives it. Oh! A couple redirects, and it almost ended up on the back of the net, but it is cleared now by Central. A little bit of a scramble for it. That's Everett Snyder, the big long pole. Ball goes out of bounds, and Central ball. So the Red Devils with it now, up 2. And possession. So now here's Moncrief at about the 20-yard line. We've seen Tommy Kowalski get a lot of minutes thus far. He's on defense right now.
He's had a great season for the Dukes so far, been an electric scorer on the offensive end.
Meanwhile, a turnover from Hinsdale. Scooped up, and the Dukes give it right back. Oh, but a ground ball. No one has possession. And it ends up with Jackson Kearney. Couple of changes of possession there. The ball with Central. Moncrief goes to his left, gives it to number 20, Vinny Galassi. Back to Moncrief. And Hinsdale begins to slow things down. Up 2 with less than 2 to play in the first. Now moves to his right. Smothered by Duke's defenders. They bring the help. And forced to kick it back out to the midfielders. Now Kearney with it. Kearney to his left hand, gets by 1, loses the ball on the way to the net. And scooped up by the Dukes. Now Selfridge looks to clear. Selfridge gives it to number 11, that's Chris Markison, another football player. He clears. Here comes Brian Grant with it now. Now Rieger. Duke's very few shots on goal. Only 3, and all 3 have been denied by Matthew Kreischer. Now here's Lance McCann, first time we've seen him today. Another prolific goal scorer. The Dukes are full of them. Now here's Andon Rieger. Swings it. McCann hits Siegenthaler. Extra pass and a goal. The Dukes find the back of the net for the first time with 34 seconds remaining in the first. I believe that was number 18, Ryder Maston. We will confirm. I think it was Ryder. nonetheless, a great offensive possession, great ball movement. Will Siegenthaler finding the extra man at the last second. And it's 2-1 York. Excuse me, 2-1 Hinsdale. York cuts into the lead. Central falls on it. York parents not happy. And they will rightfully give the ball to the Dukes. Here is number 29, Reese Richardson, a junior.
He had an amazing play last game against St. Viator. He got the ball on the defensive end and quickly flipped fields and scored.
Yeah, Reese known for his speed. Also a common face-off man. You see as he heads to the bench. Here's a shot by Rieger off the cross-field pass. And with 1.8 remaining, the Dukes tie it up. It's the senior attack who's been on this squad for quite some time. Evens the score. I doubt there will be any time for either team to produce a scoring opportunity with less than 2 seconds to play. So it should just be a face-off, and they'll head to break. 1 second, and we're done. So an exciting first quarter of play here at Clarence T. Eastfield. Hinsdale Central jumped out to a quick 2-0 lead, but the Dukes respond and tie it in the last couple of minutes. We go to break, tied 2-2. You're listening to York Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I'll try and be fast.
Second quarter action just underway. Apologies, we just had our camera go out, so I'll be trying to bring you the action the best I can as sort of a radio call. We enter the second quarter with the Dukes up The Dukes tied, I should say, 2-2. Here's a face-off that's won by Tristan Moncrief of the Hinsdale Central Red Devils. He hands it off to a teammate at about the 35-yard line. Hinsdale Central walking it into the offensive zone. This is Jackson Kearney. Both him and Moncrief scored. The only two Red Devils goals. Goes to his left. Fires a long shot. Oh, off the post. That had some real zip on it. And the ball trickles all the way to about midfield. Knocks a man down. Ref calls it Duke's ball at midfield. But man, that was a good move that Kearney put on and was this close to tickling the twine. Meanwhile, here's Ryder Maston moving it into the offensive zone. He gives it off to Tommy Kowalski, to McCann, to Rieger. That's the 6 out there for the Dukes. Along with those 4, along with Will Siegenthaler and Andon Rieger. Rieger with it now, swings it to Kowalski, who gives it to McCann. McCann to his left hand. Now over to Siegenthaler. Siegenthaler at X position. Now here's Rieger. About the 15-yard line, kicks it out to Kowalski. Now McCann. Tic-tac-toe. Oh, Maston couldn't finish it. They hit Siegenthaler behind the net to a cutting Maston, and they just hit it wide. Just shot it wide. Now McCann. To Kowalski at the 25. Swings it to Rieger. Rieger with his left at about the 10. Now hits Siegenthaler at X. Now McCann. To his left hand. A little bit of a give and go action between him and Siegenthaler. Kicks it back out. Here's a shot. Didn't get through. Now corralled by Kowalski. Now Rieger with it. Trying to isolate his man. Kicks it to Siegenthaler. Now Siegenthaler working behind the central net. McCann back to the top of the field. McCann loses it, but easily scoops it back up. Now here's Siegenthaler. Duke's just working it around at the top of the offensive zone. Just taking their time. Now here's Siegenthaler. Again, the Duke's passing it around in circles. Everybody getting a touch, looking for cutters. McCann draws the double. Now Siegenthaler. Tried to get inside, tried to muscle his way to the front, but it's a save by Kreischer. Now a hit put on, but Hinsdale Central clears. Over the 50 now, but he loses it. Good forecheck by number 7, Trey Walker, in the long stick midi, and the Dukes get the ball back just like that. Now gives it to Selfridge. Selfridge is going to take it up himself. Now gives it to number 31. That's E.J. Espinosa. Now gives it to Maston, and Maston brings it himself. At the 10, now gives it to Siegenthaler at X. So now the Dukes with the lead, with 8:04 to play in the second, off of Ryder Maston's goal. Now here's Moncrief. Devils win the face-off. They've won most of them today. Now Moncrief kicks to Kearney. Kearney with it, walking it up the field. Duke's trying to get set in their man-to-man defense. Midfielder Jack Wagner is guarding Kearney. Kearney now, along the sideline, just walking around on the outside, not a threat to score. Now goes to X, tries to swing it around, tries a shovel pass at the net, but is off target. I do apologize if the scoreboard is not working. It is 3-2 York. Graphic doesn't seem to be functioning right now. 7 minutes to play, but Hinsdale Central has the ball. The attack goes to work. Has it about the 5. Now moves it to the middle. Trying to get by a defender. He shoots. Oh, just wide. That was a good look by number 22. That is Finn Little. Shot was just a little bit high. Again, not a great angle, but the Duke's defense makes you compromise. Now here's Mark Joy with it at X for Hinsdale. Trying to work on E.J. Espinosa, but he's not giving him no daylight. Now Kearney with it. Kearney putting the moves on Wagner. Wagner puts him to the ground. Kearney gets back up. Trying to slither his way through. Not happening. Moncrief tries to circle back out. And Hinsdale Central calls timeout. The Duke defense getting cheers from the crowd. Timeout taken by HC with just under 6 to play. York leads this one 3-2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're listening to York Sports Network. After the timeout, it is Hinsdale Central with the ball. Same 6 out there for Central. Very few, if any, substitutions for them thus far. Similar to the Dukes. Both lineups shrinking. And meanwhile, here's Central. Taking their time. About the 10. The attack puts a move on him. Gets to the 10. Oh, sliding through the defenders. He shoots. Oh, and a big save by Selfridge. Now a scramble in front. No sign yet. And I believe they're going to award possession to the Dukes. Or will they? Dukes arguing that he was in the crease, but it will stay Central ball. I spoke too soon. Here's Kearney now. About the goal line. Tries to shake off Duke's defenders. Here's Love with it now. Walled off by Espinosa. And he forces the ground ball. Gives it to Selfridge, who looks to clear. Wagner with it, trying to use his speed to break into the open field. Jack Wagner with it at the 20, the 15, the long shot. Off the mark. But the Dukes will keep it. Here's Kowalski with it now, along with Rieger and Grant. Duke's working it around, just like usual. Plenty of ball movement, trying to spread out the central defense. Looking for cutters. It's Kowalski with it now. Hit it about the 20. Loses it. Scooped up by, that is Blake Rieger. Now Grant with it at about the 15. Looking to pass. Gives it to Rieger. Now Kowalski to Grant. Grant, extra pass. Another extra pass. That was Siegenthaler, who had it on the doorstep. And Kreischer falls down. And a long, long clear. About 60 yards. That ends up being in a giveaway as it's scooped up by Chris Markison, who flings it back to Connor Selfridge, and the Dukes have the ball. Now here's Markison with it at about the 40. Now the 50. Midfielder stays back. Oh, he gives it to Siegenthaler. Siegenthaler at about the 5. Dukes in no rush. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Now here's Grant. Swinging it around. Gets it to Grant inside. Extra pass is an errant pass. Dukes will keep possession. Now a giveaway, and Hinsdale Central has the ball. Give to their goalie Kreischer, who hurls it the length of the field. Another giveaway. Two ill-advised clears by Matthew Kreischer, who have both squandered opportunities for Central. Now Duke's in transition. It's Siegenthaler. Thought he had his man, but decides not to throw the pass. Here's Kowalski now. Picked up by Kowalski. Gives it to Siegenthaler. Siegenthaler moves in at about the 15. Now backs it out. About 10 yards. Now swinging. Less than a minute to play here in the first. Duke's trying to get one more opportunity. They've held the time of possession. It is well in their favor at this point, especially in the second quarter. Gives it to Grant. Hits Siegenthaler. Extra pass. And a goal. It's Ryder Maston again. The ball movement of the Dukes. A slow possession, but it eventually leads to a goal. Dukes double their lead. They've had 4 straight now. They lead it 4-2. 20 seconds remaining in the first half. Here now 10 to play. Central wins the face-off. Trying to get a shot off. 5 seconds to play. 4, 3, 2. It's Moncrief. He shoots wide. And that'll conclude this first half of play. The Dukes responding to adversity well, down 2-0 in the first. They respond with 4 straight over the course of the first and second quarters. They lead this one by 2 going into halftime. We'll see what adjustments will be made for the second half. Again, we apologize for no camera in the second quarter, but hopefully we can get that up and running by the start of the second half. We'll see you in 10 minutes. You're listening to York Sports Network. We'll be right back. Second half action. We're just underway here in the third quarter. Those of you just joining us, Duke's up 4-2. Here's a Red Devil, takes a spill on the ground. Whistle's flying. Whistle's blowing. More like it.
Yeah, whistles don't fly. They don't have wings.
That's funny.
I know. I'm a humor man. Oh, but taking a sec as the Hinsdale Central man is still down. Not the time to crack jokes. We apologize. Did not realize that. Oh, wait.
With this injured timeout, we'll take a quick 30.
Did you turn... Oh, you didn't turn me down. Next. He is walking off on his own volition, so that is good news. We are about to be back. We're looking for a guy with the ball right now to see who's going to start with it. Looks like it's going to be Hinsdale Central's or York's ball there as Tommy Kowalski picks it up right around the 15. And he's going to be charging into the attack zone. Jukes right, goes down the sideline, gets smacked with a stick. So he gets all the way up, passes it to the right side. Back up reset to the middle. The Duke's offense loves to do this a lot. They reset the middle and structure their offense from the top of the key all the way around. Typically go to the back like this and look for cutters cutting to the net.
Meanwhile, here's a scramble at about the 30-yard line. Loose ball. About three players from each side. Who's got it? Grant seemingly had it, now lost it, and the pile continues. Knocks it back into the offensive zone for the Dukes. Oh, Central can't corral it either. And still nobody has it. Finally picked up. Or the deep hole, but he gives it right back. Or did he? Finally, everybody settles it down. Settled down, and we resume. Now Rieger with it. Now this is Siegenthaler at X. His usual position. The Dukes with their full circle of ball movement, just like the first half.
It's a very effective offense. I think you said before they score on average. I think you wanted to say 10 points a game.
14.6 actually.
Oh, wow!
Exactly, yeah.
So quite the effective offensive strategy here.
Yeah. Very slow pace, but it spreads out the defense and leads to high quality shots. Quality over quantity. Meanwhile, here's a long snipe from the 20-yard line. That is Blake Rieger. Had a little bit of daylight, and he tickles the twine with 9:12 remaining.
Your goal scorer by number 28, Blake Rieger.
Blake Rieger, his first goal tonight. He's a sophomore. brother of Andon. The two of them were teammates playing Elmhurst Lacrosse. A lot of players on this Duke squad, part of the ELACS feeder program here at Elmhurst.
I'm surprised that a lot of Elmhurst Lax players go to
I'm just saying it's
York.
a great program.
It is a great program.
Here's a quick shot and a quick answer from Hinsdale Central. Goal by number 20. That is Vinny Galassi. A one face-off, then a quick pass and a quick shot. Just like that, it's 5-3.
Well, you could see the Duke's adaptation right there. I was going to mention how they should be looking for that face-off guy to do that again, where he tries and flicks the ball forwards and run forwards, because he's done that 3 times this game whenever he's run a face-off. As he gets it, is going along the sideline.
Dances down the sideline, loses the ball. Does he have the speed to catch it?
That was a great
No, he
pick
cannot.
by Jackson Reese.
Now
A little
here's
behind the
Wagner.
back.
Seemingly nobody can hang on to the ball for very long. Now Duke's trying to settle things down. They clear it to their goalie. Now Selfridge, all the way out to his 20. Now gives it to Wagner, who drops yet another pass. Saves it before going out of bounds, but it's picked up by Hinsdale Central. It's the deep hole, number 25, working his way into the offensive zone. Draws a couple defenders and dumps it off. Now here is number 27. That is Gavin Rose out there with it now, and he's being pressured. Now gives it to Jackson Kearney. He's got one already tonight.
Much low scoring game tonight.
Definitely. Both defenses. Both offenses taking their time on offense.
The offense goes on offense. Once again.
The offense does go on offense. Will Buxton on the call.
Will Buxton.
But the defense has been great as well. I'll finish my point. Speaking of slow offense on offense, there's Jackson Kearney just standing there at about the 10-yard line. Now goes to work, blows by Wagner, gets some space, he shoots, big save by Selfridge.
It's not going to work a lot. He's already tried that once,
But the
given
Dukes
up.
give it away, hits Moncrief with a long shot. That's wide.
Going to stay here. If you don't mind me asking here on stream, is as a man who knows pretty much nothing about lacrosse, how do the possessions work whenever they throw the ball behind the net? Because it seems like they don't hit anything and they just throw it and it goes away, but
Nope.
it stays with the offensive team.
So essentially how that works, and for those of you listening who are unaware, they essentially play who can get to where the ball is first. So whoever is closest to where the ball went out of bounds, that team gets possession. So a lot of times you'll see defenders running after the spot where the ball went out with their sticks out, trying to signify that they were the closest team and that therefore they should have possession. So that's what happened in this case. That's why Hinsdale Central keeps the ball.
Interesting rule. Pretty smart if you think about it, how many times these players miss the net on shots, because then offensive possessions would just die over and over again. Flags a flying, unlike the whistles earlier.
Oh, Moncrief hits the deck, tried to set a screen and it goes horribly wrong. Now here's Kearney with it.
Nice spin move.
And a shot, and he scores with his left hand. Jackson Kearney cuts this lead to 1. With 5:22 to go in the third.
A lot of celebrating from a team that is still in the deficit.
Yeah, but they know how good this Dukes team is, and the fact that they're within one of the number 3 team in the state, I'm not surprised they're celebrating. Just trying to keep the energy that they have so they can keep this momentum for as long as they possibly can. And when you look at what's went right for the Devils thus far, you got to look at the face-offs primarily, as here comes Reese Richardson out to midfield. The fact that they've won like over 2/3 of the face-offs has really just generated so much offense.
That was the issue I heard of coming into this year, that this team was just as good, if not better, in the attack, the defense, and goaltending. But I heard that, losing a star player that we were talking about last time at the face-off position is really going to hurt the Dukes. But they are trying to find a guy who can consistently win reps.
They have not found that guy yet, as Hinsdale Central tries to go in for another goal. Here's Kearney, rips a long one. Selfridge puts his body on the line and makes the save. Now a scramble in front. No one's got it yet, at about the 15-yard line.
Good save from Selfridge, as Hinsdale Central was able to pull it out of the scrum, but then mishandling there.
And I'm not sure if it's the lights that are making players not be able to see, but a lot of players on both sides here have been missing pretty short and uncontested passes that have gone right by their sticks. So that trend continues as the penalized Duke defender comes back on, and Hinsdale Central ties the game. The Dukes scrambling a little bit as they got their extra guy, unsure, a little bit of a miscommunication as the ex-player for Hinsdale comes around the left side of the crease and ties this game. Vinny Galassi, his second of the night, knotted up at 5.
It looks like Selfridge is in some pain.
And that would be a huge blow to the Dukes, who are already in a little bit of trouble here.
Looks like it. Selfridge gonna come off. We don't know how long. He's able to walk off on his own volition, so it could just be for a little bit, but we do not know. That's going to go in. That's going to be Ryan Dua Jr. He's the backup goalie. He's going in there, number 6 for the Dukes, with all the momentum in the favor of the Hinsdale Central Red Devils.
Yeah, a lot of pressure being put on Dua now. Can he live up to the expectations? We had already seen Central upset the Dukes in the football season, but the stakes are much bigger here as the Dukes are ranked 3rd, like we mentioned. Just blew a 2-goal lead and now lost their goaltender as well. A quick timeout with 4:10 remaining in the 3rd. Don't go anywhere. This game's just getting started. We'll be right back. You're listening to York Sports Network. following the timeout. Dukes get a face-off here at midfield, one they lose again, and a flag comes out. Who will it be on?
Slashing, it looks like. It's going to be number 20.
It is Bruce Duda, the senior midi. So nothing going right for the Dukes here in this third quarter. Losing their goaltender, losing their lead, and now just lost a man as Hinsdale Central goes on the power play.
If I were the coach, talking his ear off after you already lost all, as you said, lost all momentum, lost a star goaltender, and now you're a man down. Not a good position at all for the Dukes right now, but we'll see how they adapt. It's probably why they're one of the best teams of the state, is that hopefully they'll be able to get back into it.
Meanwhile, a near turnover there for Central, and he throws it over Moncrief's head. Fortunately, he was able to corral it.
Good defense there by Troy.
Now
Shot there.
Dukes in their typical box and one. That's what most teams do when they are a man down. Most effective zone defense. Now here's a loose ball scramble picked up by Hinsdale Central. They're on the move. Couldn't handle the pass. Another ground ball scooped up. That's number 14, Everett Snyder. He moves across midfield. And that should burn the rest of this penalty. Dukes on offense.
Good play there by Troy Walker as well as Everett Snyder. Good play by both of them to get the ball into the Dukes offensive to hopefully regain the lead and the momentum.
So the defense holds strong. Dukes back at full strength and now a chance. So like you said, regain the lead. Now Maston with it. Siegenthaler. More passing, more cutting, a long shot, and a goal!
That was talk about a long shot. That was nearly to the second arc. One of the
Hard to
longest
see
shots
who
I've
that
seen.
was. We're getting word that was Tommy Kowalski, number 19,
The insiders are saying.
from the far hash. And it's 6-5 York. A huge goal. Hinsdale Central seemed like they had all the momentum on the power play. The Dukes defense holds, and Tommy Kowalski finds the back of the net at the other end. We talked about responding to adversity. The Dukes are proving it again here. It's been a game of runs thus far. Seems like the Dukes maybe are starting another mini run of their own.
It's a ground ball here.
And another dog pile, just like you said.
Big scrum
Still
for
no
it.
possession.
Looks like it's going to be out on Hinsdale Central.
We've seen our fair share of those scrums today, haven't we, Josh?
Yes, as you were saying, it's been happening to both teams. Have been missing the ball, not catching it very well. So it could possibly be a lights thing, but you know the Dukes have played under the lights before, so the practice should help. But both teams have been really suffering with keeping possession of the ball, so therefore all of them have been fighting for it on the ground much more than usual.
Now the Dukes with the ball. Here's Siegenthaler. Over to Rieger. To his brother. Oh, miscommunication there on the pass. Dukes fortunate enough to keep it. Here's a quick shot off the post. Now Siegenthaler on the doorstep. Walled off.
Another missed catch there. This time going to be picked up by number 10.
That's Brian Grant.
He wears the same number in football.
Great observation. Rieger shakes a man, puts him to the ground. Duke's trying to take advantage. Oh, Rieger had a good look, but fired it wide. 48.3 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Third quarter filled with action. Siegenthaler. Kowalski can't handle the pass again, but picks it up.
Only 27 seconds remaining.
Here's a long shot, very high. That ball traveled a long way, didn't it?
Yeah, that went all the way to the back fence under the scoreboard there. He wound up for that one, had some good velocity on that shot there.
Now 15 to play. Duke's trying to get one more opportunity. A goal here would be huge. 10. Now 5. Gonna get one more. Oh, down low. Who's got it? A shovel pass. Doesn't go through, and that'll conclude the third quarter here. The Dukes went into it with a lead. They come out of it with a lead. However, it has been shaved down to 1. We head to the fourth quarter. Duke 6, Devils 5. We'll be right back. You're listening to York Sports Network.
And welcome back. Fourth quarter action between two rivals who are only 20 minutes apart. That's going to be Hinsdale Central and York Dukes of Elmhurst. The Dukes of Elmhurst are up by 1 as they lose another face-off, but they're up by 1 with 12 minutes remaining because that's how long quarters are, and this is the fourth quarter. And it looks like the Dukes have some good news despite including regaining the lead, and that's Connor Selfridge is back in net. The star three-year starter is back in net for them, and he was able to beat out, I think that's number 8 on Hinsdale Central, to get possession of the ball, and now he's bringing it up himself. Pass it up to Troy Walker. Jukes a man. Keeps it going. Passes it off. This time actually caught by, I want to say, Blake Rieger. His outlook is not very bleak, as he is a sophomore and a consistent part of this Duke's attack and very successful at it.
Speaking of attack,
The Dukes
Ryder Maston with it now. He fires it to Grant. Oh, didn't get through. I think it hit a Devil.
Selfridge was there in the, what do you call it, X position? Behind the net?
X is behind the net, yes. That was Siegenthaler, I think, just to correct you.
I think I said Siegenthaler.
You said Selfridge.
Selfridge?
Yep.
I meant to say Siegenthaler. My apologies.
Oh,
Selfridge should not. There's a penalty. Flags are flying once again, unlike whistles.
whistles don't fly, Josh.
No, they
that was
don't.
silly.
That was a comment first made by you. You said that, quoted Gavin Connolly, I want to say in the first quarter. There was a whistles a flying. They don't do that.
No, they don't. But flags do.
Flags do. Anyways, back to the action. I think it's going to be the Duke's ball. It's number 10. That's Brian Grant.
It is.
With
Parents were satisfied with that call. It's definitely been a physical game so far. Very few flags have been called. The refs have not been quick to pull out their whistles. But a rare penalty here.
So they probably are letting the rivals play as they want to get physical as a shot misses, but then caught and readjusted and then missed again wide by Brian. But
and Grant had a good angle at it too. No
clear
defender
lane.
blocking his path, yeah.
Missed opportunity, but it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, and you mentioned Hinsdale Central kind of caught a break there. It was a shot that ended up being more like a pass for the Dukes, leading to that open shot. But nonetheless, here are the Dukes right now. Here is a shot by Kowalski that is high. Now it's Siegenthaler. Play resumes. Gives it to Kowalski. Here's the dish. Oh! Can he hang on? Yes, he can. That was Kowalski, who fired another shot wide. He's been getting the opportunities, just hasn't found the back of the net as much as he would have liked.
Interesting thing I've noticed about lacrosse that I really like is all the interesting arm angles that people can try and score goals with. There, Tommy Kowalski had his lead arm nearly at his knee. He was shooting it from close to the ground, trying to get under a defender's stick.
That just shows you how effective this Red Devils defense has been. An extremely low-scoring game. Duke's only 6 goals they've mustered thus far. Now here's Kowalski. Finds, I believe that was Siegenthaler, and he hits the deck. The ball's still in his stick, never lost possession, even as he hit the turf.
Quite impressive there.
Able to evade 2 defenders while getting up. Here's a long shot from Kowalski. This time it's saved.
A good save there from the Hinsdale Central goaltender.
It was Matthew Kreischer. He was big in the first half.
Another missed catch. Ball on the ground. Going to be another big scrum.
This one is pulled out by Hinsdale, and then the attack hits the turf. That's number 9, Ian McClenahan.
Whistle call is going to be Hinsdale Central ball. 8 minutes remaining here, exactly. If you're Hinsdale Central, you're looking at this as a good night so far. Obviously, you would love to win against your rival, but considering they are the number 3 team in state, keeping it this close, when you were telling me that this game might be a running clock game by the second half, you know, Hinsdale Central isn't necessarily a bad team, but a 4-5 record to show that they are not the best team and not necessarily on the Duke's level, but they've been on their level tonight. They've really played up to match with them, and their defensive ability so far has been really stellar.
Forcing Hinsdale Central in a very tough position, almost walked out of bounds, and just had to throw one up that falls onto the track
was Everett Snyder with the great defense there, pushing. I want to say that was number 11 for Hinsdale Central.
That is Mark Joy.
Mark Joy.
The giveaway. Snyder is very effective in the football season as well. Uses his length and his strength to be effective on defense. Duke's back to work. Kowalski moves it to Rieger. Rieger to X. Shot close. Oh, wow. The pass got through to Siegenthaler, and he tried to tip it home. Didn't find the back of the net. Dukes keep it. Behind the net. There's Siegenthaler. Now Kowalski to Rieger. The Dukes have had the same offensive game plan the entire night. And it's just been move the ball around, occasionally set screens, and just wait until someone cuts and take good shots. 6 minutes to play. Duke's trying to hold the lead. An insurance goal would be very, very valuable here. They get it inside to Maston. He's been held in check. And immediately 5 red bodies go to hit Maston. He hits the deck, and the Dukes turn it over. Then the forecheck may have just gotten the ball back for the Dukes. Scrambled about the 5-yard line on the far side of the field. Still no one has it, and it is picked up by Andon Rieger, who flips it to Siegenthaler. Dukes settle it down. The forecheck is for the Dukes is a little bit unsung. These goal scorers that they have are also very good on defense. Taught the fundamentals, and there's some fundamentals right there. Pure goal scoring. I believe that was Will Siegenthaler who caught it from behind the net. My bad, that was Blake Rieger, his second of the game. And just like we said, an insurance goal would be crucial to the Dukes. They get it there from the sophomore. They're up 7-5.
This is a line they've been going to all night. That's going to be on the far side, Troy Walker, near side, Jack Wagner, and then at the face-off position, number 29. Reese Richardson has been the main face-off guy tonight for the Dukes.
Seemingly what they've been doing is they run with this line, and then if they win the face-off, they immediately substitute and bring on the midfield line of Grant, Rieger, and Kowalski.
This
in
time,
a lot of minutes.
They're checking a stick. My assumption is checking the pocket. I think that's number 18, Ryder Maston, I want to say. A Duke was checked for their pocket. Looks like they're confiscating the stick. Never mind. They're going back to him.
And plenty of sarcastic cheers from
the Dukes'
parents.
So it looks like what they probably do is Hinsdale Central complains about the fact that they are not able to get the ball out of a certain player's stick. So they ask the rest to check the depth of the pocket, is what I learned.
Yep, this is true.
And last time, Tommy Kowalski had his stick confiscated. But this time, Ryder Maston is able to keep his. Another missed pass there, though.
Bit of a flurry of events there. A tough face-off won by Moncrief, but then immediately threw it to nobody. Picked up by the Dukes. Meanwhile, a turnover forced at about the 40-yard line on the far sideline. And a timeout. Timeout called by the Dukes. They lead this one by 2, just under 5 to play. The defense really showing up here in this fourth quarter, really stepping up the intensity on both in the defensive zone and on the forecheck. Josh, what else have you liked from the Dukes the second half that's allowed them to hold this 2-goal lead?
Well, I've really liked their, as you said, their offense has been quite good this second half, but not as good as it should have been. But I think that's part of their strategy. Is their strategy has been to slow it down, take their time, look for the best shots possible because of how good this Hinsdale Central defense has been doing on this evening. Now, for their defense has been stellar ever since the first quarter. I think they allowed 2 or 3 goals in the first quarter, and obviously they've only allowed that amount since. So in the amount in one quarter, they've only allowed in about 2 3/4 quarter. Say that 5 times fast. But as I was saying, the defense has been really successful since. They didn't allow many shots on the inexperienced goaltender and Ryan duo, which is what you always want to do whenever you have an inexperienced goaltender or your backup, is you want to allow the least amount of shots possible against them, and they were successful in doing that. So the defense has been stellar as per usual, and the offensive strategy has been very slow, which has led to a non-high goal total.
And you got to wonder, the Dukes haven't been able to, their pass accuracy, their numbers have not really been up in that department. So you got to wonder if maybe their strategy has been hold on to the ball for a little bit longer to avoid potential dropped passes. Meanwhile, here's Hinsdale Central, a Depot in cruise control. Nobody's stopping him. Did he score? I don't think he did. Oh my goodness. That ball was hanging on the goal line. I don't know how that did not go in. But the Dukes catch the biggest break of the game thus far. And it's Jack Wagner now who brings it into the offensive zone for the Dukes. A ground ball pickup by the Depot. I believe that was number 2. And just ran coast to coast. Nobody stopped ball. And had a great shot that somehow did not find the back of the net. Now it's the Dukes in the offensive zone. Slowing it down.
Now at this point, they're really going to take their time because they're going to try and drain this clock as much as possible.
A big hit. Seemingly, oh yeah, flags. They're coming out.
Looked more like a peer pressure flag from the stands, as it was a very late flag.
It was late, but was necessary as Rieger got hit before the ball got to him. That's a major no-no in lacrosse.
Interference call.
Yep.
Looks like there's a
Could
flag
be a
still on the
cross-check
field.
as well.
Yeah.
I think they're looking to see if it was stick-to-helmet contact, because that would result in greater punishment for the defender. We'll see. The official's going to get this sorted out. We'll take a quick break. 3:40 remaining here. Dukes up 2. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to York Sports Network. The quick break has ended. We're back to the action.
Kowalski starting with it. Never mind, that's Brian Grant down there on the bottom side of your screen. Now giving it up
To Siegenthaler. You got to wonder when the Red Devils will start to pick up the pressure from afar, as meanwhile a long shot there by Rieger is off the mark. A scramble in the end zone. Duke fans looking for a push, but they'll retain possession anyways.
I don't think so. That was just a good hip check from number 19 to make sure that he gets it. That should have been a cross check.
And here comes the flag, right on cue.
That was one of the most clear cross checks I've ever seen. Dude ran full speed, both hands extended,
Surprised the parents weren't on the refs about that one.
and definitely some personal vendetta behind that hit.
Gotta wonder if some of the frustration has been taken out on some of the Dukes here tonight.
Oh, for sure, definitely. When you've been playing this well as a below 500 team against a top 3 team in the state, you always feel like you gotta win this one because you've just been playing it so close. But the frustration coming out is they're realizing that their chances of winning this game are getting slimmer and slimmer as this Dukes offense continues to waste clock. As now this is nearly a 2-minute possession here for the Dukes.
Look at them. And oh, what a great find by Siegenthaler. Rieger was on the crease, and he hit him perfectly in stride, faked out the goalie, and scored. The sophomore gets a hat trick, and just like that, the Dukes lead is 3. Rieger really showing up this fourth quarter, but it was the pass by Siegenthaler, the setup, drew the defense out and just kind of caught the back row of D-poles napping as Rieger was right on the crease and able to put it home.
Definitely a little slip backdoor screen to the front of the net for a good chance by Blake Rieger. Able to bury it. Good job there. Looks like this is the other line here for the Dukes, as that's Bruce Duda and Jackson Reese who are on the face-offs. Jackson Reese on the far side. Bruce Duda actually physically taking the face-off. That's been the other rotation that they've had tonight. Hinsdale Central with it now, driving right. Good stick there by E.J. Espinoza. Really good there. The Dukes have been great at the back tap tonight, as that's, I want to say, their 3rd or 4th time where they've let the Hinsdale Central attack run past him. And here comes Brian Grant running past the Hinsdale Central defense on the Duke attack. Knocked down, picked up by Ryder Maston, who's getting over the back by number 25 on the Hinsdale Central defensive end. Flags are flying once again, not whistles that are flying, flags. Probably used that joke one too many times, but here we are. Duke's trying to reset the offense. Flag still waiting on the field. Going to be a penalty called whenever the play stops.
And this is a huge advantage for the Dukes because they can just hold the ball, which is what they were trying to do anyways. And the flag won't start until Hinsdale Central touches the ball.
And even that was on Hinsdale Central, so whenever they do stop it, that means they go a man down and it's possession for York.
Exactly.
As he's going to shoot and score here.
Ryder Maston.
As he waves goodbye to the Red Devils.
All reliable. He had been taking a beating all night, shut down for the most part, but Ryder Maston puts a stamp on this game in which the Dukes just dominated the fourth quarter. They go up 4 now with a minute. This really just shows the mental toughness and the experience of this team, being able to play through when a team that's not on your level is competing with you. Just the confidence. The confidence to just go out there and perform. And that's exactly what they've done on both sides of the ball.
Is that shame? That's his.
So now the Duke's up 4 with just over a minute to play. It's going to take a miracle for Hinsdale Central, but they're off to a good start.
So they win the face-off against Seamus Wicklow there. I think that's his first face-off tonight. Hinsdale Central slowing it down. Surprisingly, but looks like they also know that it's going to take quite the miracle for them to win this game. Driving left, low shot, good
Big
save
by
Selfridge.
Selfridge.
Ball on the ground, going to be the Duke's ball based on a whistle. 32 seconds, 32.2 seconds remaining. Now less than that, considering the clock started.
Now Espinosa. Central's just going to have to gamble with everything and seemingly passive, by being down 4. It looks like they're just going to let the Dukes run it out. Now 15 to play. That's what's going to happen. Dukes are going to hold on, and they win this one. It was not an easy game, but nonetheless, they hold on 9-5. A great performance by Blake Rieger, a hat trick for the sophomore, and the Dukes avoid the upset. They win this one 9-5.
Great performance by the Dukes in the fourth quarter. The score not really showing this game, as the Dukes really did not dominate this game, wasn't really deserving of a 4-goal win if you take out that fourth quarter. I mean, considering the fact that they were tied with about 10 seconds remaining. In the third quarter, that shows it right there, as the Dukes, or as the Hinsdale Central Red Devils, were able to keep it close to the number 3 team in state. But that's why they are the number 3 team in state, is that they're able to pull out these tough, gritty victories against rivals who are playing their hearts out to beat them, because they know they have a target on their back after finishing 3rd last year. Every team wants to beat them and celebrate the fact that look at us, we beat the Dukes, so they're going to try that much harder. And the fact that it's a rival, they really tried hard tonight and were almost successful in their endeavor, but flamed out towards the end. But good competition here today.
Yeah, definitely a great game. And I will say, if I'm a Duke coach or a player, I'm actually happy with this win. You know, we saw the shooting percentages were very low, the passing accuracy percentages were very low as well, but the Dukes still grinded one out, won by 4, and they relied on what else? Their defense, only allowing 5 goals. But that's it from us. We thank you for watching this stream so much. Go Dukes. We hope you have a great night.
See you soon. Join us next time whenever we're back on New York Sports Network.
Very soon. Have a good night.